Welcome to Movie Galaxy. The movie starts with the Duncan family happily celebrating their daughter's birthday, showing their close bond. In the present, William and his daughter Kat play softball together, enjoying their favorite sport. However, at dinner, the parents worry that Kat is focusing too much on sports and not enough on school. Kat promises she can handle both and is determined to win her next game. At the same time, a street gang called the Fetter Boys arrives at a strip club called the Denver. Their leader, Donnie, is violently attacking a man and ends up killing him. Soon after, Donnie's two sons, Rory and Danny, show up. Danny says he's ready to join the family's criminal activities and is given his first gun, marking the start of his involvement in crime. Back with the Duncan family, William and Kat celebrate their softball win by getting tacos. William goes into a Mexican restaurant to order food, leaving Kat in the car. Unfortunately, things take a dark turn when the Fetter Boys arrive. They pull Kat out of the car, and despite her begging for her life and offering everything she has, her innocence doesn't save her. Danny, eager to prove himself to the gang, is given the task of killing her. Without hesitation, he shoots Kat, taking her life. William hears the gunshots and runs outside, but it's too late to save his daughter. He confronts Danny, but Danny knocks him out before being arrested by the police. William and his wife Jen are devastated when they learn that Kat has been killed. To make things worse, Danny is only sentenced to 5 to 7 years in prison, which feels like a terrible injustice to the family. Danny also refuses to admit guilt, claiming that William's concussion from their fight makes his testimony unreliable. Frustrated and feeling that the legal system has failed, William reluctantly accepts the plea deal. However, instead of pursuing justice through the courts, he decides to take matters into his own hands. He agrees to the release of Danny and tracks him back to the gang's home, planning his next move for revenge. Danny is unaware of what's coming. William waits patiently in his car until nightfall to carry out his plan. As he hides, a street worker named Luna approaches, offering herself, but William turns her down. Soon after, Danny steps out, and William, driven by rage, runs him over with his car. He then beats Danny to death with a bat before fleeing the scene. Once home, William quickly cleans his car and gets rid of all evidence. He has a brief conversation with his wife, Jen, who is watching a family video, before heading to the bathroom. In there, the weight of what he has done hits him hard, and he realizes he can never undo his actions. Meanwhile, the Fetter Boys arrive at their club. Rory gives Donnie the money they've collected, but Donnie isn't happy and warns Rory that he won't tolerate another mistake. Just then, Donnie gets the devastating news that his brother Danny has been killed. They rush to the crime scene, and Donnie is shattered when he sees Danny's body being taken away in a bag. His brother is gone. The next day, Detective Chun visits William, suspecting him of being involved in Danny's death. Though visibly nervous, William denies everything, and Jen backs him up, saying he was home the night before. After the police leave, Jen confronts William, leading to a heated argument. William gets defensive, upset by her suspicion, and they both struggle to understand each other as they continue to grieve their loss. At the club, Rory is determined to avenge Danny's death. He orders his men to find the killer, and thanks to Luna's description, they identify William. The next day, Rory and his accomplice, Henley, spot William working on his laptop outside a cafe and decide to attack him from behind. Luckily, William reacts in time, fending them off. He tries to escape but is eventually caught. Using his combat skills, William manages to defeat Henley and escapes again. William reports the attack to a nearby police car, but Rory slips away without getting arrested, despite his criminal background. When William gets home, he feels something is wrong and quickly secures the house. Jen suggests they call Detective Chun for help. At the crime scene, the police conclude that another Fetter Boys member was involved, marking this as part of a larger pattern. William reaches out to Chun, who meets him at the Duncan home. Chun admits that William is now a target because he killed Danny in revenge, and he acknowledges William's Marine background, which explains his ability to handle these situations. Although suspicious of William's involvement, Chun agrees to help by assigning a police car to watch over their house. Meanwhile, a car smuggler named Dante arrives at Roach's illegal auto shop, trading in contraband car parts for a bag of high-end firearms worth a lot on the black market. Later that night, William confesses to Jen that he killed Danny to avenge their daughter's murder. Suddenly, a bottle is thrown, causing the police car outside their house to leave, clearing the way for Rory and Donnie to break in. What starts as a brief confrontation quickly turns deadly. Jen is killed, and William is shot, collapsing to the ground. Lying in a pool of blood, William manages to dial 911 as Rory and Donnie flee the scene. The next thing William remembers is waking up in a hospital. Unfortunately, his wife is gone. Overwhelmed with grief and physically weak, he tries to break free, even expressing that he doesn't want to go on living. The medical staff works hard to calm him down and help him heal. Once he regains composure, Detective Chun visits him, calling him a miraculous survivor. Chun suggests that if William agrees to recover and move forward, the police could announce his death, giving him a chance to start over and live a normal life despite his immense loss. After several days of therapy, William regains the ability to walk. He wastes no time putting his escape plan into action, sneaking out of the hospital disguised as a janitor. He then takes refuge at the Western Motel, where he shares a room with Dante, a car smuggler he catches stealing a stranger's suitcase. The next day, William withdraws his savings from the bank. Dante, curious about William's feud with the Fetter Boys, offers to help. At first, William hesitates, but eventually, he asks Dante to get him a firearm. Dante proudly shows off his collection of guns in his office, telling William about his own run-in with the Fetter Boys, where he was shot in the shoulder and lost his cousin. Dante's shared hatred for the Fetter Boys convinces William of his sincerity, and William buys several guns, ammunition, a vintage jacket, and a car from him. Armed and prepared, William sets the stage for his final act of revenge. After preparing himself, William heads to a vast field to practice his marksmanship, spending days perfecting his skills for the inevitable showdown with the Fetter Boys. When he feels ready, he visits his family's burial site, paying a solemn tribute to his wife and daughter. The pain of losing them remains unbearable, fueling his quest for vengeance. Under the cover of night, William sets out to confront Zack, Rory's trusted ally. He sneaks into Zack's home and finds him distracted by a video game. Taking advantage of the moment, William launches a sudden attack, leading to a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Although Zack's size and strength give him the upper hand at first, William manages to overpower him. Despite Zack pleading for mercy and mentioning his own daughter, William shows no forgiveness. Hours later, the police discover Zack's lifeless body. Detective Chun, sensing the escalating violence, visits Donnie's workplace to warn them. He tells Donnie and Rory that William is still alive and has been responsible for the deaths of several of their men. Chun advises Rory to lay low for a while to calm the situation. However, the Fetters don't take his warning seriously and continue their efforts to hunt down William. Outside, William watches Chun leave the den, and suspicion immediately rises in his mind. Feeling betrayed by the authorities he once trusted, William's anger deepens. He realizes that even the police, who should be upholding justice, are turning a blind eye to the Fetter Boys' crimes, further intensifying his desire for revenge. William sneaks up behind Detective Chun, holding him at gunpoint with the officer's own weapon, and forces him inside a house. Accusing Chun of betrayal, William angrily condemns him for failing to protect the community and allowing the Fetter Boys to operate unchecked. Though Chun admits the Fetters have immunity within the corrupt system, he strongly opposes William's violent methods. The irony is bitter. The law can't even hold the Fetters accountable. William warns Chun that it will all be over soon, but threatens to kill him if he tries to interfere. He assures Chun he will surrender, but only when his revenge is complete. The next day, Donnie instructs Rory to take William out once and for all, and they rush to make their move. What they don't realize is that William has already anticipated their plan. Hidden in his car outside the club, William waits. Pretending to be drunk, he silently takes out the bouncer and makes his way to Donnie's office, where the crime boss is caught completely off guard. Realizing what's about to happen, Donnie tells William to finish it. But William first talks about the intense emotions he felt the day he killed Danny, the first time he deliberately took someone's life. He admits that now, standing before Donnie, he feels nothing, emotionally numb at the thought of killing him. William questions if Donnie felt the same numbness when he killed Jen, his wife. Without hesitation, William shoots Donnie, ending the life of the man responsible for tearing apart his family. The gunshot reverberates through the club, causing everyone to flee in panic. Grabbing Donnie's phone, William calls Rory. Coldly and without remorse, he informs Rory that his father is dead. To his surprise, Rory doesn't flinch or shed a tear. The Fetter Boys rush back to the club, chasing after a dead man who has changed into a creature like them. In the office, they find Donnie lying still, but Rory seems distant, not showing much emotion about his father. Their main goal is to catch William. Suddenly, William's voice comes through the speakers, letting them know he's still in the club, and the chase begins. William knows he's outnumbered, but he's determined to get revenge. He first sings a lullaby to the Fetter Boys, but things quickly get violent with a shootout. He grabs one of Rory's men as a hostage, threatening to kill him. However, Rory shoots his own man instead. William manages to escape but gets shot in the shoulder. He drags himself up some stairs, where Dante sees him, and Luna reports his location at a motel. Rory and his men soon show up. They ask for William's room at the front desk but don't succeed, eventually killing the receptionist without much thought. Rory, still set on finding and killing William, keeps calling for him loudly. William fights back, teaming up with Dante to try and shoot their enemies first. With no other option, William and Dante are forced to leave the motel, exchanging gunfire as they make their escape. As night falls, the shooting continues, and Dante struggles to avoid being caught while running along the tracks. He calls his friend, Roach, for help. Roach agrees and gets them into a garage. Once inside, Roach's gang fires at Rory's car, forcing Rory and his men to pull back. But Rory crashes through the garage, causing deaths on both sides. Despite the chaos, Rory is mostly unharmed, while Dante and William are wounded. Rory, angry over his brother Danny's death, reveals his love for him and says Danny wasn't meant for this tough life. While Rory is distracted by his emotions, William grabs a screwdriver and stabs him in the neck. Rory dies quickly, with a mocking smile, leaving William with a memory he'll never forget. Soon after, police sirens wail. Dante escapes just as officers arrive and take in the bloody crime scene, feeling victorious now that the Fetter boys are no more. In the final scene, Chin approaches William, who surrenders willingly, but he dies shortly after, having destroyed the gang that terrorized his community, though it cost him his life. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe so as to watch our latest uploads.